Hi you guys, and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be talking about polymer clay and supply storage and some of my favorite tools that I like to use. So without further ado, let's do this. Oops, bumped the camera. Okay, so let's start in the top section right here. So this little thing just opens up and voila. I got all this in here. I have some work tiles that I like to use, a little roller in case I'm somewhere that does not have, if I don't have my pasta machine, I use this roller. I have my glaze, some of the little tins that I like to work on. They're dirty. I need to clean them. This little piece, which hopefully should be premiering in a video one of these days, if I get the guts to actually make it. That's what this is gonna go for. So that's exciting. I have some glue, my glaze, some foil in case you need foil. It's a Clayer's good friend. And then I keep my work in progresses and this little plastic storage thing. I have a few things in here. And here's a little Inuyasha chibi that I've been working on. Thumbs up this video if you want me to finish it, because he's been sitting in here a couple weeks and I think he's super cute. He's chubby. I like him. I like his little nose. I do. So yeah, thumbs up if you want me to finish Inuyasha. Okay, so that is the top section of my little work area, or my storage. Just pop all that back in there and it closes. The storage also has a really nice handle at the top. It's pretty heavy, but it's nice. So in here, we're gonna get to the bulk of everything. I have 3 drawer sets. The top one I have devoted to tools. And so let's move that back and we'll kind of sort out what I have in here. So as you can see in here, I have some commonly used cutters, a little foil ball for texture on like rocks, some Q-tips, some commonly used mica powders or just what I happen to have. Then I have scrap clay, and then over here is where I have all of my tools. And we will go over the tools at the end because I'll go over where my favorite stuff is. But I have all kinds of tools. I have clay shapers, different kinds of blades. I have scissors, a toothbrush, a pencil, and this is the cutter that I use for most of my palm tops. So I keep that on this side because it won't fit over here. So now let's get to the clay. Now I will lead with, this is not all of my clay. I have other storage in other areas that have like my repeats. These are basically just my first ones or open clays or custom mixes or whatever. So the way that I have always organized my clay is I've always organized them by color type. So I always go neutrals, warms, cools, specialty. So neutrals are going to be like your whites and browns and blacks. I always put translucent in there. Beige, anything that's a very neutral color, I always put in that top section. And then I always move on to warms, which are going to be like your oranges, yellows, pinks, reds, and anything that falls into that category. Cools are like blues, purples, green. Yeah, anything that falls in that. And then specialty, we'll get into that. That's going to be anything that has like glitters or anything like that. So this is my first little bin. It looks crazy, but I've been doing this for a while, this kind of storage system, so I'm really used to it. In the end, find what works best for you. I'm sure other people would look at my storage and be like, oh, what the heck are you doing? But it works for me, it works for my thought process, and this is how I've been doing it since I started sculpting, I think like 8 years ago or so. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 8. So yeah, we have my neutrals up here. I have some like pre-mixed clays. I don't have a lot of pre-mixed in the neutral section. I have like beige, black, gray, some browns, translucent I have mixed in here. I have 3. I don't know why I have 3 open packages. You should always finish the first one first. Maybe one was too soft and I was just letting it get a little older. So yeah, I have my neutrals and then I have my warms. I have some pre-mixed colors that I just put in little snack bags that you get from like Walmart or any grocery store or whatever. Pink, so look, I have some white that kind of found its way in. That's all right. A bunch of yellows, oranges, pinks. I have those all kind of set up. What I like about using these clear containers is because sometimes things end up on the bottom. So you can just look, you know, to see if anything was buried, if there's a specific color that you're looking for. So I really like that I can look at it from all sides and find what I need. Okay, and the bottom one is always, this is always the really heavy one. So this one has all my cool toned colors and then my specialties. So we have like some blues and greens and purples. This could fall either warm or cool, but I put it in a more cool tone because if I was looking for a purple, this one does get a little tight sometimes. I have some loose clay, a bunch of pre-mixed colors in here, all just kind of squished in. So sometimes I have to go through and really look for what I'm looking for. I have a bad habit of pre-mixing a bunch of colors when I need like this much clay. Show my hand. There we go. This much clay and I have, you know, this much of a mixed color and then I never use it again. I don't know why, but I do. Okay, so and then I have my specialties, which has, this is a blue translucent. I have some like blackish silver. I don't even know what color that's it. It's rubbed off. Some sparkly blue. I have gold, shiny green, granite. Glow in the dark is mixed in here somewhere. See, I have a bunch of pre-mixed specialty colors, lots of glitters. And you can see a bunch of other colors at the bottom. So yeah, this is just the way that I prefer to organize my clay. So now I'm going to get into my favorite tools. So let's go back to the little tool drawer. Let's find my favorites. Okay. So if you've watched my first few videos, you know that I always have my silicone clay shaper tools. My favorite, I bought it in a pack of, I think 5 or 6 different shapes, but these 2 I use almost every time I sit down to clay. It is a, like a pointed tapered tool and then a chisel tip tool. This tool is really great for blending things in or adding light texture, like texture to hair or a very light wood grain. This one's great. This tool is great for when you need to tuck in the bottom of a piece or you need to draw some like rigid lines onto a piece. This one works really great. These 2 are my absolute favorite. A needle tool is always good. I really like this one because it has a little pointed scoop at the end that I use to scoop powders. So this one is pretty cool. My favorite blade are ones like this. These are my absolute favorite to use. I have an X-Acto in here. Oh, that's not an X-Acto. Oh, that's embarrassing. I guess I don't have one in here. I really don't prefer X-Acto knives. These are my favorite kinds of blades. This one's really dull because I've been using this one for like 6 years. I have a pack of them. These you can actually get at the hardware store. It's a pack of like 6 of them or 5 of them. They're pretty cheap. It does have some flexibility, but I wouldn't depend on it too much. This is a really great blade. It's pretty obvious by how worn they are. I love my ball tools. I use them for painting. I use them for texture. I use them for just about anything you can think of, and they're pretty worn. This one is obviously my painting one because it's covered in paint. Probably the other thing that I use the most is a toothbrush. I use the toothbrush to add lots of texture. Sometimes I can use it to paint if you need like a paint splatter. But this is a really, really great tool to have, especially if you're doing sceneries or food. A lot of people use this to make food as well. Okay, and just to add on 2 other tools that I use often but are not able to fit in here. These are my favorite wipes that I use. I've been using them since I started sculpting 8 years ago, and I've tried different other wipes and they just don't work the same. These, you buy them in the little cheap, not the cheap, like they're cheap wipes. You buy them, I get these at Walmart, and I buy them in the pharmacy section, not in the baby section. I get them in the pharmacy section, kind of where they also have like the flushable wipes and stuff. They have these. I like these because they don't irritate my hands, but also since they are really cheap wipes, they don't have a lot of fabric on them, so you don't get any extra fuzzies on your hands. And I find that with other wipes, they're very fibrous. They have lots of fibers on them, and they end up all on my hands, and then it ends up in my clay, and then I try and wipe the fibers away with the wipe, and then it adds more fibers, and I don't like that. I love these wipes. They're like $1 for 120. If they ever discontinue these, I'm gonna cry. And then also my pasta machine. My handle and my pasta machine. I love this thing. I use it all the time. If I need to move around, this is always with me. And I like this one because I bought it from, if I can find the link, I'll put it down below, because this is so amazing. All other pasta machines, you'd have to take off the whole piece to clean it, but these come with little screws. It was customized, and you can take the screws off to get the blade off to clean it, and then it just pops back on. Otherwise, to clean your pasta machine, it takes forever. And that was super irritating for me, so I found this one. When I bought it, it was about $100, but I've been using it for 8 years, so I would say the investment was well worth it. And I'm the kind of person, if I have to clean before I do it, I'm not going to do it. So this is great. Oh, I keep hitting this. Okay, so I think that is all I have for today. I have showed you my tools and the way I store my clay. And I think that is all I have for today. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.